first in our hinge series was a hands and knees hinge, but you put a band behind you. So I've got this band tied so that it's going across my glutes. You kind of gotta get it adjusted so it doesn't come back off. I'm gonna crawl back, and then I'm gonna practice pushing back into the band, feeling that stretch of the band, and then letting the tension from the band and from my glutes pull me forward. Pressing back into the band and coming forward, keeping my spine straight the whole time I'm moving, not letting myself lose that neutral spine positioning. This is a good one to do before a deadlift exercise or a hinge exercise. You can just do about 10 or 15 just to get the form down so that you're not feeling your low back doing all the work. Next in our hinge series was a hip thrust. And so this is basically a hinge, but just from a more supported position. So you can use your couch, a coffee table, a bench. You're gonna slide down so your shoulder blades are on the edge of the bench. Hips and knees are in alignment. Your knees aren't out here or caved in. Play around with foot position. The closer your feet are to your bottom, the better you'll feel your glutes. You're gonna think about hinging down. As my hips go down, my shoulders come forward. And as I push up through my heels, my hips come up, my shoulders come back. Hinging down, pressing up. I want to use my glutes to drive that pressing up motion. You'll still feel some hamstring and some quad, but I want this to be mostly a glute activity. You can also add a weight here for some added challenge. I like to encourage people to go slower on the way down than they do on the way up to make the glutes have to work a little harder. Same thing, 10 reps, 3 sets. This was a progression in our hinge series, which was a hinge with a kettlebell or a dumbbell to a yoga block. So you had a stopping point. So I had you guys think about lining the balls of your feet up with the kettlebell. You're gonna think about hinging at the hips, not the low back. So your knees will bend as well. So you're gonna hinge at the hips, butt goes back, grab the weight, come up, hinge down, set the weight down. If you feel like you lose that positioning before you get down here, raise the floor or the block a little higher. So you can stack a couple blocks on top of one another. The cueing for this one would be to inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. You want to be using your glutes for this, not your low back. Your low back will be active just to support the weight, but it's not doing the work. The glutes are what's lifting you up. So this was our final hinge progression. We did this on the last day. So this is setting up an actual deadlift. I have a setup from an elevated position, so we're not actually going from the floor. I would recommend if you're at a gym setting up on like a squat rack so that you're not like starting from the floor. And then once you get comfortable here, you can start with the weight on the floor. I've got the weight about knee height. You can probably go a little lower than that. So from here, you're gonna walk up as close as you can to the bar. You're going to hinge down. Before you pick the weight up, go ahead and center yourself in between the rack. You want to think about giving a little pelvic tuck just to make sure you're not like sticking your butt out. From here, you're going to think about bringing the hips forward to lift the weight up. You can step back from here if you'd like and practice not having that stopping point or that support. Or you can stay within the rack where you have that stopping point. Regardless, the form is the same. You're going to inhale on the way down, keeping that little slight pelvic tuck so that your low back doesn't do all of the work. Exhale on the way up. I'm using my glutes to come out of that deadlift, and I'm keeping the bar as close as I can to my legs